Hello and welcome into the Sporting Pod. Along with Emerson Burris and Tony Allegretti, I'm Cole Pepper. Mauricio Ruiz is living in shame right now and will not be joining us. We'll explain that in a moment. Today on the pod, looking back on the opener, what lessons were learned on and off the pitch. Now it's time for the first road trip of the season, what to expect against the defending champs, and our first time to check out the results in our Premier League contest. We are fed by the Bearded Pig, locally owned and operated with the original location in San Marco. Make sure you swing by the Bearded Pig for great barbecue and great times. The delayed.
Was it? I did it on cue.
All right, I didn't hear it. Again, I will let everybody know. Usually we record this podcast in the Gemstone Media studios. Because of some scheduling things this week, we are moving it around, and so now we're just doing this over a Google Meet. So hopefully the audio turns out good for everybody, and we'll be back in Gemstone, we hope, next week. So let's talk about the season opener. 3-1 loss to DC Power. 7th-minute goal by Jade Pennick got everybody fired up after what was in essence a 2-hour delay to the start of the match because of the weather. After it was moved, this kickoff was moved back an hour anyway. So I want to get from each of you what you took away from that match. It could be on or off the pitch, a little behind the scenes, something that fans might have found interesting coming away from the season opener. Tony, I'll start with you.
Yeah, so obviously the result wasn't there. It did feel like a lot of it, even though it was, after midnight by the time it was all said and done, it did feel like a win just to play. So that was great. I also felt like the scoreline was really harsh. It didn't really reflect how well we played. We missed way too many chances, so that was difficult. But overall, the feedback that I've gotten from the fans who did weather it, so to speak, has been super positive, and the experience was really good. A little bit of a bummer on the result, but we play again. So all in all, I had I think a great experience, and I think most people that went did too.
So we were all doing different things during the course of the game. Obviously, I was calling the play-by-play, and Emerson was on the sidelines. Tony, what was happening during the match? Where were you? What were you?
So at the beginning, so had we kicked off at a normal time or close to the normal time, what I would have been doing was working with my students from USOR. Those are students in UNF. And we are working on the 50-50 raffle. So we were going to be out sort of fundraising with our QR codes and trying to get people to donate for a chance to win half of it. And that one actually went super well. The problem, though, was because of the massive storm and the tornado warning and all that, we really, for safety's sake and because of the late start, we sort of abandoned the 50-50, and I just did that on my own. So I took the time to really check in on the suites, check in the club, and just assist as much as I could. I did a lot of running from the press box down to the training room and different things, but mostly just trying to be as helpful as I could and watch as much of the game as I could.
All right, Emerson, you had a unique spot from which to watch the game. You were down the sidelines, fighting off some rain throughout the evening. Give us your perspective.
Yeah, I had a great time. I mean, Mother Nature, we all know, has not been on our side as of recent, but we got a game in, and that's all that matters. I think a common theme from head coach Stacey Balaam has been finishing in the final third, and I was just looking at our stats from the game. We only had one shot on target, so that's something we definitely need to improve, but we dominated possession. We had possession 60.8% of the game versus DC Power with only 39.2%. So I think there's some positives. Of course, there's things to always work on, and I'm looking forward to that, what we can do in Tampa this weekend. But I mean, other than the rain and not looking or feeling my best, I had a great time on the sideline.
Yeah, this was your first match to work the sidelines for us.
Yes.
You've done that before. I will pass on, let everybody know that Emerson got some plaudits from the league office as well for her work down on the sidelines. And you would probably, among the three of us, had the best feel for the energy from the stands down to the field. What'd you make of that?
Yeah, I thought it was great. The kiddos on the sideline were so cute, and they got to walk out with the players, and they were still so excited even after the few hours of a delay. And then the supporter section was few but mighty. They were loud and they were engaged the whole game, and I'm excited to see that continue to build, and hopefully our next home game, it's a much bigger crowd.
Yeah, the total number of tickets distributed was like 9,700 plus, which I think I'll have to go back and double check. I think makes it the second highest tickets distributed game in league history. And tickets distributed is a number for season tickets sold plus single game tickets, group tickets, sponsor tickets, all those things. Doesn't mean every single person was there. And in this case, because of the weather, a lot of people just chose not to brave it, and you can understand why with tornado warnings in the area. But I will also say that I thought the energy was great from the folks who stayed, as late as it was, as wet as it was. So hats off to the supporters who were there cheering on Sporting Jacks. Now, we should let everybody know that while season tickets are still on sale, they are being sold at a prorated rate. So you can still get the best possible price for season tickets when you get the prorated season ticket by calling 904-863-KICK or by going to sportingjacks.com. You can also check out the Sporting Flex Pack, where you can get the next home game, which comes up on Saturday, September 6th against Dallas Trinity, and then 3 other matches throughout the course of the season. And those tickets start at $60 per 4-pack, so that's just $15 per game. This weekend, heading to Tampa to take on Tampa Bay Sun. That will be a game you can see on Peacock. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff on Saturday. I'm going to be very interested to see how things play out in terms of making adjustments or adaptations from game one. I asked Becky Burley this on our radio show about whether she believed the old adage that you make the most improvement between your first and second games. And she wasn't quite sure that she would go along with that in this case because it's such a young team. But I do expect to see some tweaks and to see some players, maybe player usage might be adapted. But I love the fact, Tony, that we're starting this rivalry with Tampa Bay in week 2.
Yeah, it's good to get another big test. We're both on the schneid. I think they lost to Brooklyn too. So loser leave town, or in our case, winner leave town. So yeah, another thing, and I just want to be, because we're a very transparent and football oriented podcast, I want to say too, like, mistakes were made. Like we have some improvements, I think, to make in some key areas, especially on defense, if I'm being honest. And I would like to see some mark of improvement there. And it's really surprising that we only had one shot on target, because I can remember several. Puerta had a sitter that went to the left, so I guess it's not on target but it just missed by an inch. And I think we were clattering the post or coming close a lot. So yeah, we've got improvements to make. I think that's a through line, and it's a good segue here too to let everybody know that the game is on Peacock, so you can watch the replay, and it's really cool. Cole, you guys and Emerson, you guys did a great job. But it's hard to tell that game was 2.5 hours late post tornado. The excitement was there. You could hear the supporters. The other side looked kind of cool where our suites are, and you can get on the roof of those and watch the match. A lot of people were taking advantage of that. So anyway, got some improvements, and I can't wait to get back here to Hodges Stadium next weekend.
Yeah, and interestingly, so there will be 3 straight home matches in all competitions after this weekend's match at Tampa. Saturday, September 6th against Dallas. The following Saturday, September 13th against Carolina. Both are 7:30 kicks. Both of those games will be seen on Channel 4. And then on Friday, September 19th, KC Current 2 comes to town for a friendly that will help replace the Hibs game that was lost due to weather. So if you're a season ticket holder, you have that ticket in your account. If you're not a season ticket holder, you can purchase tickets to that game as well. But and that game will be seen on ABC 25. So we'll start getting some of these local broadcasts coming up here, which I'm looking forward to, and kind of learning about how fans are interacting at the games and at home with the team. And after we have this first game on Channel 4, my suspicion is that Emerson won't be able to walk around town without being harassed by fans.
I hope harassing is not on tap. I get recognized, though, and can connect with the community a little bit.
There we go. Well, yeah, however you want to
high five.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Sporting Jacks on TV and radio. Sporting Jacks Report comes to you noon Saturdays on NBC 12, right before Premier League action. You can join us Tuesdays at 6 p.m. for the Coaches Show on 1010XL with Mark Warburton, the head of soccer, and Stacey Balaam, the head coach, plus a player will join me. And the Sporting Jacks Soccer Hour every Thursday night at 6 on AM 930, Fox Sports Radio Jacksonville. Mauricio Ruiz, Becky Burley, Emerson Burris, and me each and every week. Okay. Last week, we debuted our Premier League contest. And if you missed it last week, here's the contest. You pick one Premier League game to pick a winner every week, and you can only pick a team twice throughout the course of the season. So you'll have to pick almost every team at least twice, and every team will have to be picked once at minimum. In the first week, I picked Bournemouth, Emerson took Arsenal, Tony picked Burnley, all winners in the first week. Mauricio Ruiz took Aston Villa, who went down to defeat. Mao has given me his pick for this week, and I will lead it off with his pick. Manchester United is Mauricio's pick this week after losing to Grimsby Town in the Carabao Cup. He's got Man U to win this week at home against Burnley, expecting the bounce back. So a bold pick, perhaps, by one Mauricio Ruiz. So, Tony, I'll let you have the honors for the next selection.
Yeah, that I don't know about Mao's pick, man. It seems like that Grimsby match is going to linger. That sting might linger. But, okay, so I'm going to do Forest over West Ham.
All right. And Emerson?
I'm going Newcastle over Leeds.
All right. At Leeds. Of course, Newcastle's had some drama. We'll see how that goes. That's the game that follows us on Saturday after the Sporting Jacks report. Tony, I like your pick. I'm going with Forest as well. I like to pick home teams here. Well, it's all right. I mean, it will either rise or fall together or draw and not do anything. Next time we're all together, all four of us, we need to determine what it is that we are in fact playing for in this. So we'll have to come up with that over the course of the next week. But we still have a lot to get to. This is the time of the podcast where Tony breaks format.
Yeah, so I'm going to Tampa this weekend. If you're not going to Tampa, catch it on Peacock. We are in the office and elsewhere looking at bars and restaurants that have Peacock. Most of them do, especially if they're soccer, because of obviously the Premier League. So if you have a favorite pub that you like to watch, email us at sportingpod@sportingjacks.com, and we will talk about your away match pub, because I think if you just took the crowd from last Saturday, it would fill up multiple restaurants. So I know there's interest. So let us know where you're watching.
And also, Tony, I think, and I'm bringing this up sort of for the first time, but I think we probably need to set up a watch party at some point in the future for a Sporting Jacks road match.
Yeah, I think so too. Not Brooklyn, because I'm going to that. I want to go to Coney Island.
All right. Well, by all means, then let's not interrupt. Make that and probably maybe we'll do a Tuesday night. That Tuesday night at DC on October the 14th. Maybe that'll be an opportunity for a watch party. Who knows?
Okay.
We'll work on that. So send us your suggestions at the Sporting Pod or Sporting Pod at sportingjacks.com. All right. This is a little briefer than usual because we didn't have Mauricio pontificating, and we'll welcome him back with open arms next week, unless
probably
Man U loses, in which case he might not come back.
We may never see him again.
We might never see him again. So,
hey guys, I want to give a shout out.
Yeah.
Emerson, shout out.
Well, not really shout out because they'll never hear it, but today a new podcast was announced and is being launched in the sports world. It's called Welcome to the Party, and the hosts are Abby Wambach, Billie Jean King, and Julie Foudy, and I'm very excited about it. I think.
And why would you think they wouldn't hear about it? They're probably tuned in right now.
Well, I would really hope so. That would be really freaking cool.
I think they're probably inspired by this podcast. That's why they started one.
Yeah, I mean, one could dream.
Yeah.
All right, it's like the reading list at the end of class here for Emerson. He's assigning homework to check it out. All right, guys, thanks so much. Looking forward to a bounce back in Tampa. Come back with 3 points would be great, and we'll be talking about what happens next week right here on the Sporting Pod. For Emerson Burris and Tony Allegretti and the absent Mauricio Ruiz, I'm Cole Pepper. Thanks for listening to the Sporting Pod.